Hello, all my beautiful, amazing souls out there. It's your girl, Tina Marie J. I apologize. It has been a while since I have uploaded a video. I did start working again, and so my schedule, I'm getting used to this new schedule because I have a completely different schedule. Um, but I, of course, want to make sure I still put up content for you guys. So if you saw my last video, I spoke about Megan Good and her divorce. I actually have fun making that video. That was pretty fun to make. That was something that I just had a lot of opinions on because like I said in that video, I have been following, not following, like I'm not stalking and nothing like that, but I've been kind of like knowing a bit about their relationship because I do get a lot of suggested videos on my YouTube and stuff when it comes to religion and stuff like that. I guess because of kind of content I put out. But I'm pretty proud of her, and it's not anything to shade her ex at all, but I feel like it is important that when you feel like it's time to let go or you feel like you can't completely be yourself, then when it's time to go, it's time to go. So if you haven't checked out that video, definitely make sure you go check it out. It looks like Megan Good is doing pretty well. It looks like she's glowing. Like she's glowing like how she used to glow before she married Devon, before she married him. And for those of you who don't know, Megan Good and Devon, crap, I forgot his last name. I'm sorry. But her and her husband, Devon, they got recently divorced. And he is a pastor and a Christian. And, she says that she's a Christian as well. But she's not, I guess, according to Christian community, she doesn't really take her faith as serious as others would when it comes to how she dresses. And, she's an actress, so she has certain movie roles and stuff like that that would not be appropriate for the Christian community, according to the Christian community, or however you want to call it, which I understand. I completely understand that. So for this video, I just want to talk a little bit about converting to save your relationship. Should you convert? Should you become a Christian to save your relationship, to remain in your relationship? If you are not a Christian, or if you used to be a Christian and you're with someone who is a Christian, or maybe you got into this relationship as a Christian and now you see yourself kind of feeling like you're going in another direction and you consider yourself a little more spiritual, like myself, because a lot of people, it's really no wonder how a lot of people leave Christianity and end up finding themselves more spiritual. I personally don't see spirituality as a religion because it's not something where I have to go someplace and worship, or I'm not really worshiping anybody. I feel like spirituality is whatever it is to you. Like spirituality could be religion as well. Spirituality is considered a person who believes in something in general, someone who uses spirituality as a way to help them get through life. I know that there are a lot of people and there are sectors here on YouTube where they feel like spirituality or religion is wrong. You shouldn't believe in anything, or, you're stupid if you believe in something in the clouds, or you're stupid if you believe there's an afterlife. You're stupid if you believe in the universe. I feel like it's stupid to call somebody else's belief stupid because it's like, all right, but you're seeing it from your side, your perspective. I would never call anyone who believes in Jesus, God, or even Allah stupid. I may not agree with it because that's just not what I believe in. And that's it. Like, put a period on that. I'm not going to call it stupid. But for me personally, I think that spirituality is something that is personal. And I don't believe that we should ever. I don't believe that we should ever feel like we need to lower ourselves, lower our standards, or change what we believe just to suit somebody else and their personal beliefs. So I have gotten some recent emails. I actually got 2 emails. And these 2 people that emailed me, one of them is married and the other one is in a relationship, not married, but it's a serious committed relationship. And the one who is married, this man, his wife is considering a divorce because he doesn't follow the Christian faith anymore. He stopped going to church. And so she's considering divorcing him, and he wants to know, like, what do I do? This other individual who had emails me is in a relationship with someone and it's a woman. And she emailed me saying that her boyfriend, he wants her to convert, but she's not sure what to do. So he believes in Jesus and he wants her to go to church. He wants her to go with him and, to prove that she's good for him. So she wanted advice. So I think that this advice that I'm about to give, you take it or leave it, like whatever fits you, whatever suits you, that's what suits you. Um, but my opinion is this: you should not have to change yourself for anybody. I mean, it's one thing to be willing to compromise, to go halfway. But when it comes to your beliefs, I think that is far more personal. I think that is something that you have every right to decide on. No one should be able to decide that for you. So if you find yourself in a situation, first let's speak about the first incident. Let's say you're married, right? And your spouse, man or woman, husband or wife, your spouse wants you to come back to church. Like you have to, which I have been in a situation in my relationship before as well, so I could speak on this. They want you to come back to church. You feel yourself drifting off. You feel like, I don't really believe in this anymore. I believe in something, but I feel like I'm feeling myself heading more towards the spirituality route because that's what really fits me. Like that's what suits me. That's what feels comfortable for me. I believe in something, but just not the biblical viewpoints, not, the whole idea of I have to go to church every Sunday. I have to be around all these Christian people. I have to get on my knees to pray. I have to dress a certain way. I have to act a certain way. I have to be this obedient wife, or I have to be this husband, man of God. If this is something that is just not who you are, and not saying that you shouldn't respect your husband or you shouldn't be a man who has respect for your wife, that's totally different. But if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like that's just not who I am, like I'm sorry, I've questioned the Bible a lot, or I question the whole idea of church a lot, or the whole concept of it, the whole concept of religion in general, like all religions, not just Christianity, but all religions. Like I question it, so I just don't feel like it fits me. But how am I going to fit into this relationship if I don't fit into religion as well? So if you find yourself in this situation, my best advice for you is to really, I suggest, because I never tell nobody what to do. Like you do what you feel is right for you. You take, you leave. That's your choice and that's your right. But my suggestion and advice for you is to really think about what you really want. Is it really selfish for you to decide for yourself that you're going to follow what you personally believe? Because this is your personal views, your personal, these are your personal ideas. And this is your right to have that. You have to decide for yourself, am I going to follow what I believe, or am I going to follow what somebody else tells me I should follow because this is what's going to make them more comfortable? Most often times when you're in a situation where you're in a relationship with somebody who either wants you to convert or they want you to come back to Christ, as they call it, come back to Christ, come back to the Lord, come back to the truth. A lot of times in these situations, it's more for them than it is for you. And I know some people wouldn't like to hear that, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It's the truth. A lot of times it's more for them than for you, because if it's not for them, then why does it matter? Why can't we have a relationship where we can both at least try to be on the same page and love each other the same way we loved each other when we got into this relationship? Why can't we stay in that same love and have different views, have a different viewpoint? Why does it have to be so different? A lot of times it's for that person's benefit because they need to feel comfortable, especially when it comes to Christianity. That's why so many Christians will only date other Christians or only marry other Christians. Like, you have to believe Jesus is Lord or else it's not going to work. I'll only date somebody who's a Christian. I'll only date somebody who believes in God and goes to church. I'll only date or marry a man of God or a woman of God. And at the same time, I mean, it is fair to that person does choose to only be with somebody who has their same kind of viewpoint when it comes to religion, because I think like we always want to be in a relationship with somebody where we could be on the same page with things, even though it's impossible to be on the same page with every single thing. But religion is a very personal thing. But I think at the end of the day, what's most important is that you respect the person's viewpoints, their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions. You respect what they really think and feel. And if you can't, then, and if you can't see yourself respecting somebody else, whether they believe in what you believe in or not, then clearly maybe you're right. Maybe you should date someone or marry somebody who has the same beliefs as you. But you being the person who no longer believes, going back to the whole situation of if you're married to somebody and you've recently left religion, but they're still a part of religion, if you are in this relationship and you decide that you want to stay in the relationship, but you also want to stay true to yourself, at this point, it's up to that person on if they're going to respect it or if they're going to leave you alone. Because you have to really make the decision for yourself. Like, first of all, no matter what this person says, like, I'm going to respect how I feel, and they have to respect it too. And if they can't, then maybe that just means they need to make a decision as to whether they want this, whether this is for them anymore. And I know a lot of Christians don't believe in divorce. I do know Christians who are married to non-Christians. And the relationship could take some work, but what relationship doesn't, you know? Even if you both believe in the same thing, even if you're both atheists, like, it's gonna take work no matter what. Whether you're married, whether you're in a committed relationship, like, it is gonna take work regardless. Now, is it easy to be in an interfaith relationship? Which, by the way, check out my playlist. I do have a playlist where I have different videos where I have spoken about being in the interfaith marriage. I shared my journey of being in an interfaith marriage because after I left religion, my husband stayed in it. And so that was very hard, but I had to make the choice to be true to myself no matter how he felt about it. And that's not like a disrespect or a slap in the face or anything, but that's just me being true to myself. And to this day, I'm happy I stay true to myself. My husband actually is no longer a part of religion. And that is nothing to do with me because I never once told him to leave. That was his own doing, his own choice, which it has to always be your own choice, whether you want to stay in it or not. But check out my playlist because then it may help you if you are in a relationship, whether you're married or you're just in a regular relationship. With somebody who is a part of religion and they're having a hard time accepting your spirituality or the fact that you're agnostic or the fact that you're an atheist. So now let's speak on the situation of you met somebody and, you know, it's starting to get serious. Like you're into each other, you're really feeling this person, they're really feeling you. And they tell you, hey, if we're going to go any further with this relationship and take it any further, you're going to have to convert because I can't marry somebody or be with somebody or even be seen in a relationship with somebody who doesn't believe in the same thing as me because I take my religion very serious. I take my faith very serious. And it doesn't matter what religion it is. Like they could be Catholic, they could be Christian, they could be Jewish, they could be a freaking Muslim, like anything, like any freaking religion, you know, like now this person wants you to convert. At that point, you have to really decide for yourself, is this a relationship for me? Because if you already put out on the table, I don't believe in this, or hey, I'm more spiritual. I'm not religious, but I am a spiritual person. Meaning spirituality, which by the way, like I'm cutting myself off real quick, but a lot of people hear spirituality and they automatically assume like the stereotype, somebody who has a bunch of crystals and does hum or some weird meditation sounds and just talks about chakras all day. That's not spirituality. I mean, that is a part of it, but not everybody who considers himself to be more spiritual does all that. You know, in spirituality, there is no rule. There is no, you have to do this to be spiritual. No, it's what you feel you connect to the most. Like I connect to certain things when it comes to spirituality, and then there are things I don't connect to, you know? So if you find yourself being told or even being demanded, like, listen, we're getting serious, but you're going to have to get it together. Like you're going to have to become whatever I am, because I'm not going to settle down with somebody and raise a family with somebody who's not a Christian or who's not Muslim or who's not Catholic, because I want to raise Christian, Muslim, or Catholic kids. So you need to want the same thing. That's a huge red flag right there for that relationship, because that person's basically telling you, you need to adopt everything I believe, and that's going to end up backfiring on you. And the reason I say that is because I've met people, and it's just even kind of common sense when you think about it. People who will convert and then later on they kind of get tired of like putting up this fake persona of really believing and all that. And anybody could go to church, anybody could pray, anybody could read a Bible. You know, anybody could say they believe in Allah. Anybody can dress according to whatever their religion tells them to. Anybody could do that. But can you keep it up? And if it feels like a struggle, then you're basically holding up a persona, which is why a lot of people end up leaving religion, because they get tired of feeling like they're carrying a persona around and it's a lot of work, which in my personal opinion, I think that's what Megan Good was doing. I'm not trying to say that she's not a Christian, because I mean, she believes herself to be, but I do believe that a lot of times she was holding a persona, trying to carry a persona, especially because her husband was a pastor, you know, so that's why she got so much backlash when it comes to how she dresses. She had to try to like cover herself up and all this and that because it's how I'm supposed to be, it's what I'm supposed to do. But let me tell you, as soon as homegirl got a divorce, you look on Instagram and she's doing her thing and she's happy, because that's really who she is. It's so much easier to just be yourself than it is to put on a persona. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of walking on eggshells. So you really have to make that decision for yourself. Is this something that I really want for me, or is this something I'm doing for you? If I convert and if I believe what you believe in just because this is a life you want, is it for me or for you? And at the end of the day, if that person really feels like this is what they want, like I need a man or a woman of God, I need someone who's going to raise a godly Christian household with me, I need someone who's going to worship and pray and go to church every single Sunday, then maybe they need to go after that need, because clearly that need is not you. It's not within you. And that's okay. I think that a lot of times, because like I love talking about relationships. I really do. I love talking about relationships way more than I love talking about religion, which is why I decided like to combine this topic. Also, I think a lot of times in relationships, and this is just not even just a religion, but just in general, when it comes to relationships, we don't vocalize what we really want. We don't vocalize what we really want from the person or what we need out of a relationship. It's like we get into something blindly, and then we just hope for the best, like hope that this just takes off. And we don't say, hey, these are my needs and these are my wants, you know, in a respectful manner. Because when you do vocalize what you need and want in that relationship or in any relationship, you're giving that other person the opportunity to exit if that's what they need to do. If they're like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean you don't believe in God? What do you mean you're an atheist? Nah, we're going to make this work. You're going to have to believe in God. You can't make someone believe in something they don't believe in. It's like, and this is like an example I use sometimes. There are actually people who believe in fairies. I still think it's weird. You know, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's funny. You know, there are people who believe in Tinkerbells. Like, I don't believe in Tinkerbell. So are you, what are you going to do? Are you going to tell me like, you need to believe in the fairies if we're going to be together? And then I'm going to do what? Like, I'm going to try to force myself to believe in something that I really think is just weird and doesn't exist. That doesn't make any sense. I think sometimes when we look at it from a different standpoint, we can kind of see where other people are coming from, and we can remove ourselves from our own thinking and try to think like somebody else for a minute. I mean, because honestly, this is something I've been working on for a while, for, I don't know, the past couple of years now, is trying to remove myself from my own personal thinking and think how the other person might feel, you know, like when it comes to certain things, why they think the way they do. And when you do start removing yourself from your own thinking and put yourself in somebody else's, you're able to learn more about that person. Whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or a stranger, like you're able to learn more. I think that in relationships, if we remove ourselves and try to put ourselves in somebody else's situation or someone else's thinking, then we kind of have a better clarity, more of an insight, you know, as to like, okay, so maybe this is how the person feels. So for me, the easiest way to do it is to think of people who believe in fairies. And I don't believe in fairies. So how am I gonna make myself believe in a fairy? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't believe in Jesus, or you don't believe that the Bible is true and consider the truth. How are you gonna make yourself believe in that? You know? How are you gonna make yourself believe in something that you don't truly, I'm sorry, my dog, he wants to go out. Let me mute this for a second. Shh, Juicy, quiet. Oh, I thought I muted myself. I'm sorry. I think I'm still unmuted. All right. So anyway, but how are you? Quiet. Don't. He's looking at me. He wants to bark so bad. When my kids get home, they take him for his walk. But how do like, how do you make yourself believe like that? Like, you can't. You kind of can't. And yeah, there are people who do convert, but like I said, I kind of be feeling a lot of times like it's a persona. There are people who will convert to Christianity, and then they'll be a Christian for like for a long period of time, and then one day when their kids get older, they leave Christianity and they leave that relationship. So it kind of goes to makes you, oh my goodness. I'm sorry guys, let me mute real quick. All right, I apologize. My dog, he barks and barks and barks. But yeah, I've known people who've left their relationship, they've left religion, and then the relationship follows. And a lot of times people will get into a relationship because of the religion. A lot of times people will, and this isn't for everybody. I'm not saying this happens with everybody. So please don't take it disrespectfully, because I don't mean it like that at all. But there are a lot of people who will get into a relationship with somebody, and then it's more like, well, we both believe in Jesus, that Jesus is Lord. So like, we're in this relationship and we're sticking it out, but one of the people involved in the relationship may have doubts but don't really express that, and then later on it just kind of shows up, and then eventually you're just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, this is not working for me, and they leave. And then the other person's like, well, then if Jesus doesn't work for you, then neither am I, and then now you get a divorce. So that's kind of just my thoughts on it. I think that you should, most importantly, if you find yourself in a situation where the person wants you to convert, or where you have left and the person wants you to go back, return to the truth, and I put that in air quotes, I think that you should consider yourself. Don't think that you're being selfish, because you're not. You're thinking of yourself, and you're thinking of what you believe, and you're only going to do yourself and that other person a favor. It's only more fair for you to do yourself and that person a favor by being honest and saying, listen, that's just not me. Like, I'm sorry, but if that's what you want to raise a family who believe in God, who go to church, you want to go to church, you want to read the Bible together, you want to get on our knees and pray to a Jesus that I don't believe in, like, I'm not the one for you. I'm not. And I think that the problem is, a lot of times in relationships, we don't want to come out and say it outright. We don't want to come out and admit, like, I'm not for this person, because we think we're for everybody. We want to be for everybody. And please know that, like, I am far from perfect. Any advice I give is because I've been through it myself, or it's like lessons I've learned through my own relationship, and also through just seeing other people. But it's okay to not be for somebody. It's okay if you're not for that person. It's okay if you are not meant for that person. Everyone you meet is not your soulmate. Everyone you meet is not your twin flame. Everyone you meet is not going to be your perfect match. Just because someone believes in the same thing as you. Like, you could be spiritual and meet someone else who's also spiritual. Doesn't mean that you're meant for life. There are a lot of things that go into play, and we have to be willing to be open and be honest and be transparent about who we are, what we want, what we expect, what we desire, and what we're willing to give. Our boundaries must be respected. And for me personally, like, one of my boundaries is, please do not tell me what I need to believe in, because just because you believe in something doesn't mean I have to believe in it too. Please don't tell me what I need to do, because that's going to make me not want to do it even more, and those boundaries have to be respected. And if you find that the person you are in a relationship with, whether you're married or unmarried, if they're not respecting your boundaries and you've already had these conversations, then both of you need to sit down and decide for each other, for yourselves, if this is really something that you want. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with deciding, you know what, I don't think this is something I want, and I don't think this is for me at all. So that is, those are my thoughts. I hope that that helped whoever it needed to help. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. I do post, for the most part, I post something daily. Sometimes I'll post like little videos. I've been getting back into making my little videos on my Instagram. Whenever I'm not posting on here, I am on Instagram. So my IG is right there on the screen, TinaMarie_J. If you have any questions or any video requests, you can send it down below in the comment section, or you can send me a private message on Instagram. Also, make sure you do check out down below in the description box. I have my digital product store. So make sure you check it out, because I do have some affirmation quotes that, that I create, and they're PDF. You can print them. I'm sorry, I'm like getting tongue tied. You can print them out, and I have that down below. Also, make sure that you do check out my Beautiful Souls Facebook group. It's for anyone who was involved in a cult. As you guys know, I used to speak about cults. That's how my channel got built. And I'm no longer speaking about cults, but I am still doing my talks with Tina. I am getting back to that. I was sick for a bit, so I had took some time off from that and other things. But I did have some people ask me oh, are you still gonna open the platform for people who have been in that experience? Yes, I am. If you have been in a cult and you still want to speak on it, I'm not 1,000,000% against talking about it. We could do that. So do send me a message. I'd be more than happy to interview you. You could be anonymous, or just join my Beautiful Souls Facebook group if you feel like you need a group of people where you could just say how you feel, you can relate with each other, and no judgments there. And also, if you want to speak to me one-on-one and you want to book a call with me, I have a link down below in the description. We could do calls. I usually have it set for an hour, but I think I'm going to push it up to an hour and 30 minutes, because people have a lot to say. And when you talk to me one-on-one, I do give you real legit advice. So the information for all that is down below. Also, let me see. I don't have it here. Okay, so I actually think I have it down below in the description box, specifically, especially for my ladies, where I speak about relationships and all that stuff. Everything that has nothing to do with religion is my other channel. It's called I'm Tina Marie J. So you can go check that out. Make sure you subscribe. Men, you're welcome as well, of course. But I definitely speak a lot to my women over there. So make sure you do check that out. I hope you guys enjoy your day, your evening, your night, your weekends. Stay safe, stay sanitized, and I'll see you guys in the next video.